In this video, we are asking the question, is it a function? To understand, is it a function when we look at a graph or we look at a set of points, we need a basic definition. And our basic definition of a function that we use at the 8th grade level is each x value has only one y value. So to restate, each x has only one y. So let's look at some examples of something that is a function. These are some examples of something that meet our 8th grade definition of a function, and these are examples that do not meet that. Notice in each of these cases where this graph is not a function, there is some x value or multiple x values that have more than one y. For example, for this circle, the x value positive 2 is connected to 4 and negative 4. So according to the definition, each x has one y. This does not meet that definition because this x value of 2 has two separate y values. And an easy way to test this is to use the vertical line test. So notice in each of the examples of a function, I can draw a vertical line through the graph at any place. I can draw a vertical line any place along here, and it only hits the graph once, meaning the vertical line only hits that graph once for each vertical line that is drawn. If I draw a vertical line here, it hits the graph once. If I draw a vertical line here, it only hits the graph once. That means it passes the vertical line test. In these examples, the vertical line drawn through the graph hits that graph, so to speak, more than once. Right here, this vertical line hits here and also here. So if it hits that graph, so to speak, or touches it more than once, we say that that graph does not pass the vertical line test. Here's another view of that, the difference between a function and something that is not a function. These graphs are not functions according to our 8th grade definition. They do not pass the vertical line test, again, because some of the x values have more than one y value. Sometimes instead of a graph, you are given a data table or a set of points in some other way, and you have to determine if that set is a function or is not a function. Notice for what I am given, I can only go off of what I'm given. Each x only has one y, so this is a function. We say no here because notice the x value 3 has 9, but it also has 11. Now, if this said 3, 9, and 3, 9, well then 3 still only has one y, and I could say yes. But this 3 has 9, but also 11, so we would say no, it is not a function. In this set, each x has one y. Yes, it's a function. In this set, 3 has 13, but 3 also has 19. So that would not pass the vertical line test if I chose to graph it, because at that point, a vertical line would hit the graph twice. Here are two EOG questions at the 8th grade level. In which choice is y a function of x? So that's a fancy way of saying which one of these is indeed a function. So in 3 of the cases, there must be some x value that has 2 y values. B is eliminated because 2 has 0 and 2 has 3. C is eliminated because 2 has 5 and 2 has 12. And D is eliminated because 6 has 2, but it also has 8. So the only one of these that is a function from the given information that I have is choice A. In which set of points is y a function of x? So again, it's asking me which one of these actually is a function. And if you look carefully, in each set, there is some x value that has more than one y, except for one set. Some functions are linear and some functions are nonlinear. So just because it's not a straight line doesn't mean it's not a function according to the definition of a function. These are functions. They are straight lines where each x only has one y value, but these are also functions. They are just non-linear functions. Let's look now at some delta math practice. Here, I'm asked to determine whether this graph represents a function. Notice right here, the value of 1 is matched with 4, so there's a point 1, 4, but there's also a point 1, negative 4. And if I were to draw a vertical line through that area of the graph, it would hit or touch this graph more than once. So it does not pass the vertical line test. So I would say that is not a function. And we get this nice little graphic as you can visualize a vertical line test. Let's try another one. Looks like a straight line to me, so it looks like it's a linear function. Does pass the vertical line test. I'm going to say it's a function. And yes, the vertical line never crosses more than one time at any given place on the graph. You can easily see that would not pass the vertical line test.